like you to possibly carry them with you today and through the week if they fit. Winnie the Pooh said, if the person you're talking to appears not to be listening, be patient. It may be that he has a small piece of fluff in his ear. So if you will turn to the person on your right and check for me, and then to the person on the left.
Filled with fluff. Filled with fluff over there. I can see it from here.
Like the dog hairs. Well, I had an amazing week. Actually, I had some aha moments, and those moments brought some questions to me, one of which is, where do our dreams come from? Not the nighttime dreams, but the daydreams. And then, am I and are you and are we living those dreams? Well, let's see where this takes us. Saturday before Easter, I attended an Easter picnic, and there were children galore and more senior people there as well, and Easter egg hunts and games and lots of food. It was a wonderful time. And at one point, I found myself face to face with this little runny-nosed, grimy-faced, blonde, blue-eyed God apparition masquerading as a little person, 20 months old, named Courtly. Courtly is her name, and she's just now learning that sounds have some meaning, and she's mimicking sounds, so of course she and I were eye to eye and sharing some sound games. And while that was going on, I couldn't help but think and wonder what dream was lodged in that little heart, and why, and who she was going to become, why she's here as a gift to all of us. It was a magical moment. And then Tuesday, I attended the Oakhurst Women's Connection Luncheon, and I was transported back to my childhood. Totally unexpected. A time when I, like many little girls, was horse crazy. I breathed horses, I dreamed horses, I read about horses, I drew horses. And I knew one day I would be a jockey, or you can laugh if you want, Kim, or a trainer, or better yet, I could be an owner, a breeder of horses, and I'd raise the finest horse flesh north of the Pecos. Remember, I'm in Michigan. I have no idea what that meant, but I'd read a lot about it. Well, in my daydreams, I saw that sprawling ranch of acres and acres of pasture, the multicolored horses, but I kind of then settled on Appaloosas. I thought that would be a pretty good thing to raise, Appaloosas. There'd be brood mares and newborn foals and geldings, and of course the wild-eyed, nostril-flaring black stallion who would come at my gentlest whistle, and I would climb on his back and we'd fly across the hills, leaping the rivers. Well, obviously, really, the dream kind of faded as time went on, and I had more immediate, more practical things to think about. But then Tuesday, this speaker, her name Melody Diamond, great name, huh? Mm-hmm. Melody Diamond Rodriguez, began to tell us her story. She too had childhood dreams of horses. And her childhood dream of having horses never did fade, never went away, even though she had abuses and broken promises and broken faith and things that went on in her life that could have destroyed any dream, but not with Melody, because that dream kept her going. That dream stayed in her heart, and it wasn't until her late 50s, some 4 years ago, that that dream actually came true. And she purchased property with her mom and created the Double Diamond Ranch. And this ranch was peopled, if you will, with rescue horses. Horses that were broken in spirit, horses that had no one, and not a very bright future. But she, excuse me, she also, in Linden is where this place is, Linden, which is, I believe, east of Stockton, so not too far away. But she also noticed that in the neighborhood, there were children who also were neglected, needy. And she began to enhance her dream to include these children. And consequently, the children and the horses have come together in hope and healing, and in a merging of healing hearts and broken spirits. It's been a wonderful journey for her. It could have ended much differently for her, for the horses, and for the children. But because of her dream. And she says, I have to tell you how she said this. She said, she spoke of her faith in the divine, how the divine had guided her all through her many years. And she says that her dream was really God dreaming through her. Is that cool? And that dream has manifested far beyond her childhood dreams, her vision as a kid. Well, so in this time, this month of renewal and transformation, maybe each of us might want to take a look at our dreams, dust them off a little bit, and think, are we living our passions? Are we nourishing our talents? Are we using our spiritual practices to align ourselves with who we really are, the truth of our being, which, of course, is that we are divine beings? Maybe we have to course correct. The world, when we realize that we are really who we really are, we are these divine beings, the world does seem to transform. It's the way it should be, but really it's just our perceptions that have shifted, because the world is heaven on earth. And so think about those dreams. Live an extraordinary life, because you are extraordinary beings. And as Melody says, then let the divine finish your dream.
Yes.